What is up, guys? Today is February 2nd, 2016, and this is going to be the second video I'm making showing off the parts I got from the building demolition over at 2000 South Naperville Road. Yesterday you guys saw the Dover Impulse car panel from the elevator. Today you guys are going to be seeing the smaller parts I got from the elevator. Tomorrow you guys will probably be seeing the fire alarm parts I got from the building if I have time. So we're just going to be going over, like I said, the fixtures. I got the 7 signal fixture parts I got from the elevator, not counting the brails or the Dover buzz. I'll be showing this off in a later video, but here's your Dover buzz. I'll be showing that off sometime else. And you guys also saw it in the video I made yesterday. But basically we have 7 parts here, ranging from call buttons to indicators to key switches. And this is a 4-story elevator we're talking about here, and I've only got 3 out of the 4 call stations. The reason for this is because last week when the contractor pulled these parts out, he told me that the stairwell to the basement of the building was blocked off, and that the basement was flooded too. It had 2 feet of water down there for some reason. So he was unable to get down there to get the basement call button from the elevator. But the contractor did text me today in the morning telling me the job for today for the crew was to clear a path to the basement. So in a couple days I may or may not be getting the up call button and any key switches that may have been down there. I may or may not be getting those parts to add to these. So, but for now we've got 3 call stations, 2 indicators, if you want to call them both that, and then we got 2 key switches. Let's start with the call buttons here. Just to give you guys a little overview, just so you guys know where these came from. We have 2, first of all, we have 2 intermediate call stations and 1 single button call station. These buttons came from the lobby, the first floor. These buttons came from the second floor, and this button came from the third floor. Now, the first floor buttons, it's an intermediate call station, as you guys can see, and the thing that they did with this elevator that Chase did is they actually had some brails put on these buttons. Saying up and down, and these are brails, so they just it's kind of for me it's kind of helpful that these are here to know that the direction these were facing when they were installed. But these this was from the lobby, and as you guys can see on the back here, and I guess I could have told which direction by that too, but we got 2 different buttons on this panel. This one was actually replaced. This is the 80s micro switch here. And this is the 90s contact buttons, if you want to call them that. You guys can hear the difference when I press these buttons. This is the micro switch. This is the 90s. This is from the 80s, the micro switch. This is from the 90s. I'm not sure what this kind of switch is called. If you just want to call it the hammer and the spring, the contact switch, I don't care, but there's that one, and that was in the lobby. This one probably got pressed the most often because it was in the lobby of the building. And that's basically it. There's not much to see about these buttons. Second floor buttons, we don't have any replacements. We just have the micro switches on this button. Now when the contractor was pulling this part out for me, either that or this was already damaged before this, but this one is a little bit bent. And it's going to be hard to bend back. If I ever decide to do that, that'll be quite hard to bend back. But just a little cosmetic issue, nothing serious. But these are the micro switches. They both sound the same. Both from 1989 when the elevator was installed. Third floor button was replaced. This is the 90s clicky button. So there's that one, and like I said, these all got brails on them. So there's that. There's the call buttons. Like I said, I may or may not be getting the basement call button. It all depends on how things work out. I think the contractor told me that someone like already got to the basement call button, but we'll just have to see about that. I'll just have to see what the true answer to that is. So I guess we'll move on to the key switches next. This is the inspection, the hoistway access key switch from the 3rd floor. So this key switch was directly above this call button. And then this is the fire phase 1 recall switch from the lobby, which was right above this these call buttons. So not too much to see with these buttons. This switch takes the H1848 key and it's spring loaded. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a demonstration here. Or actually, I stand corrected. I thought this the inspection took the H1848, but it actually takes the 1846, which usually does the keyed stop switches. So with the inspection switch, this is designed after the elevator has been like put onto inspection service. You open up the shaft doors, and the if the inspector wants to get on the top of the car, they put the H1846 key in. Let's see if I can get this in with one hand. And then when you when you turn the key, it's spring loaded. So you hold it in the up or the down position to manually move the elevator car up and down. So you hold it like this, that moves the elevator car up. You hold it like that, it moves the elevator car down. Then after you get it down to the floor, you just let it go back to off and remove the key. With the fire service switch, this is basically, if you guys watched the video I took yesterday, it explains fire service a little bit. But the fire department, if there's a fire in the building, and the elevator's fire service has not already been activated by a smoke detector in the shaft, the lobby, or the machine room, then the firefighters can come in to operate the elevator themselves in their own special service with the H2389 key. That's going to be really out of focus. But if that'll focus, there's the H2389 key. And basically with this, you stick the key in. If this will go in, stick the key in and you turn it to on, and that would cause the elevator to buzz and to recall to the ground floor. That would like buzz the elevator down to the recall floor pretty much. The doors open and the elevator does not operate till you go inside and you turn the phase 2 key switch on the panel. That's where the firefighters would take control of the elevator. So then if the fire service was activated by the smoke detector on the fire alarm system before they can reset the fire panel, or I'm not sure if they do this before or after they reset the fire panel, but to reset to reset the condition on the fire panel and to reset the elevator, you have to stick the key in and turn it all the way to bypass. Like I said, this is a 3-position switch, so you stick the key in all the way and you turn it all the way over to bypass and then to off, and that'll reset the abnormal condition on the fire panel, and that'll reset the elevator too after you turn to bypass and to off. Now that basically concludes the key switches I got with the elevator. Next, we're going to be moving on to the indicators, if you want to call them both of that. We got the exterior Hall position indicator here, and the internal Dover Impulse car lantern chime. Let's start with the exterior floor indicator. There's not too much to explain here. This indicator is basically an exact copy of what is already on the car panel, way up there. But this is mounted out in the lobby, so the passengers that are going to be getting on the elevator can see where the car is in the shaft as it's approaching them. They can see the car the floor's on, and that way they know how long it'll take the car to get to them, basically. This is the only part out of all of these parts which I actually took out myself, so I feel pretty good about that. I took this indicator out myself from the building, and basically there's 5 wires here, and I don't know which ones do which. I've tried hooking these up in a bunch of different combinations to 24 volts DC, and the only one I could get to work was the 3. that one did pop on. And actually the good thing about all these parts is that all the bulbs in these buttons, all the bulbs in here, all the bulbs in here, and this chime are all capable of taking 24 volts DC, which is perfect because that's the voltage that the fire alarms operate on, and hence I've got two 12-volt batteries here, so I've got a 24-volt power supply basically, which is perfect. So yeah, I've tried a bunch of different combinations of wires with these 5 wires here, and I've only gotten the 3 to come on so far. So I'm not sure if I've got to change up the wires to get the rest of them to come on, or if it just so happens that all of these are burned out, which could also be a very good possibility, since the bulbs in these tend to burn out quite frequently. There we go. I'm sorry. Can't speak today. The bulbs in these tend to burn out very frequently, so these could easily be all burned out and they may have to be replaced. So there's that basically. It's just the lobby indicator. It lets you see where the elevator car is in the shaft. Now we got the internal impulse lantern chime. This sounds like when you press the button and the elevator opens up, this will sound to tell you if the elevator car is going up or down, depending on the button you press and depending on the direction the car has been set to go. So this is pretty, this is for Dover, this is surprisingly cheap stuff. We've got the, this is all plastic here. Got the black part is the plates. Then we got the covers here with the arrows on them. This one's been a little bit scratched up. Then behind that we got the, just the covers for them, which the light bulb sockets mount to, and these are two incandescent bulbs, two incandescent bulbs per arrow. And then this black box here is actually the chime. So this is the box that makes the chime sound. Our favorite Dover Impulse chime sound. So that's basically about it. That's and as I was saying, these can be exterior or they can be exterior or interior. This one was interior, so it just traveled up and down with the car. It was not mounted outside the elevator. Now, just for a treat, I'm going to be doing this in a separate video anyway, but I have a little bit of time here, so I'm going to go ahead and test the lantern out. Pretty soon I'll be able to wire up the lights in those and hopefully get that one all wired up, the position indicator, and maybe even in the car panel. But I'm just gonna, I just got the lantern going. I traced all the wires to figure out which wire does which. There's 3 wires here. There's a common, and there's one for up, and there's one for down, and I had to label these just to know which one does which. So I've got my two 12-volt batteries here. I'm just gonna go ahead and connect these, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay guys, now I've got the flash off on the camera just so you guys can actually see this. So I've got the common wire on the chime and the lantern wired into the negative on the batteries, and then I've got my 2 wires here. The one wire does the up lantern and the one wire does the down lantern. So let's first touch the wire for the up. There's the up chime and the up lantern there. Let's see if the camera will focus in on that. If you hold the wire, the lantern will stay on. And if you touch it again, the chime will sound. So the chime will only sound for so long. And then, like I said, here's the chime again and the lantern. And if you hold that, that will stay on. When it's actually in the elevator, that will stay on until the door closes on the elevator. And that goes off. Then let's do the down chime now. I obviously do not have the elevator controller to pulse the down chime, so I'm going to have to manually pulse the down chime myself. So that's the down chime. Like I said, I have to pulse it, so I can actually just hold it, and it'll just stay on. This is not being pulsed automatically. This is being pulsed manually, so I can do that. I can do that. That's the standard one. I've also heard on like some of the older Dover impulses before, I've heard controllers that pulse them like this. I've seen that before. I've also seen this. So there's like tons of different combinations you can do, but I still think that's pretty cool. So, yep, I could do that all day. So there you guys go. There was the impulse lantern test. You guys will be seeing. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably be doing this in a different video anyway. So I'll be doing a separate video testing out the lantern. And there's the rest of the parts I just showed you guys. So thank you for watching today's video, and I think that'll be about it.